saying you're having weird audio issues. I'm saying I can't hear a lot of
Yeah,
what you're saying, and you got audio
Yeah,
crackles.
that
it's
shit
like you
is
got two
weird.
times speed on.
Nah, I don't.
I didn't even know you can do that shit.
That's crazy work.
That's
How
right.
you double talk in real time, my G? That's crazy
I
work.
don't know, man. I'm possessed.
He's still doing it.
Where the chipmunks? Alvin, Simon,
So
Theodore.
I think you need to drop that. You need to drop out and click the link a little bit slower the next time.
you guys can all eat dick.
Look.
I don't,
He mad.
I don't get why he's
Bro's
mad. For,
mad.
How you mad, bro?
telling him your mic is not
That's
doing
your
well.
mic that's fucked up.
Hey, get it right, because in about 30 minutes, me and Snowman, we're gonna do a review about black men talking to white men, and it's gonna sound just like Keisha, honestly. But
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
white men, white liberal men, and Keisha are one and the same. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of estrogen and testosterone to be one.
Hey, so Hood, a few months back, Hood did a show and he talked about, it was either Hood or SKC, and they warned about black women being the face of the destruction and the fall of the U.S. And looking at how Keisha and Tamika are publicly coming at Brad and Chad, it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys ever seen Fallout. Yeah, Brad and Chad. Why am I reverbing? Well, I think that forewarning, I think it's going to come true. I think it's going to come true. They are becoming the face of the fall of the U.S. and they're hiding behind the defeat the patriarchy, which I've talked about this before. Defeat the patriarchy is nothing more than white women's way of ducking responsibility for what they view as white supremacy because they're only attacking one side of the system and they're saying, oh, not me, when it's like, bitch, there's a whole book about you called They Were Her Property. And the thing about it is black women don't
I think we got
understand.
suspended. Hold on, did my stream just get zapped?
I can hear you.
So what, for playing this clip?
No, I'm just looking at the chat. It's saying the stream got
Did
suspended or something. Yeah, let me
did
take this
Keisha
clip.
get you up out of here for playing white people, showing culture?
oh yeah,
No,
bro.
no, Tisha did
What the
that
hell?
to him.
Nah, we still going on Rumble, but I think you know how the YouTube thing is. It'll probably come back up in a second.
Yeah, Keisha and Tamika working in them companies got at him. They're the new Illuminati. They're the new Illuminati.
Yeah, it's saying stream unavailable. Yeah, I guess it's
Oh,
the.
yeah.
Nah, it'll come back up in a minute.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, I
This what happened when you steal culture, bro. You can't do that.
I know, man. Niggas not
So
allowed
it's
to
cool.
in this,
So it's cool for the other man could go ahead culture appropriate, but when a black man does it, they zap our streams, huh?
Yeah, I'm not.
So DJ Black can do it, but we can't.
I'm not even gonna call it out. Well, the algorithm is gynocentric. It's not even racist. It just you can't say woman unless you're what. That's why I turned to a social media woman, bro.
Hey, conservative.
Yeah.
They pulled your stream.
Now it's gonna come back up.
Yeah, it'll come back in a minute. They always do that when it's the copyrighted material. It was that video most likely.
The opera.
Yeah.
Kamala did it. Kamala
That's really
and,
weird too. Because you
Macron's
had
wife did it.
They don't want us to get no culture, bro.
You had it paused. Like,
well, it wasn't just that. I played enough of it, so eventually the algorithm just started to get wind.
okay. Well, I was just coming up just to make sure that you were aware and had removed the item in question.
No, I got it. But we know we're still rumbling, so we can't just stop the show because of that.
Right.
All right. I don't know if you back. Wait, let me check see if you back up yet.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, you back. Yeah, it's not a copyright strike. He just gonna have
It
to.
just came back up. I'm gonna head back to the chat. See you.
Yeah, listen, man. Keisha's a very fickle individual.
No,
Right?
Keisha's dumb. But go ahead. I'm
If
sorry.
there's if there's one thing we know for sure, Keisha does not like black men. She will do any and everything to destroy black men.
I'm not.
She wants love from Brad, but she wants Brad to love her enough to bow to give him her privilege.
No, y'all got Keisha all right. Y'all don't speak toddler, bro. Okay, she hates black men. I give you that part, right? But she hates herself, so she hates every reflection of herself. But there is no black woman who's a successful lesbian. They don't like black women either. They don't like shit. So I'm not even gonna put that on gender. I'm putting that on. You're just raised to hate yourself and hate everything that comes from you, and that's cool. Baby boomer men are just like that too. Boomer men hate their sons and their grandsons. Or they try to turn their grandsons gay.
Facts.
That there's a hate in communism. These commies hate themselves. You have to, and nobody's more commie than the colors, right? But
Yeah.
but it's not the love of Brad. It's the love of slavery. She just wants to run shit. Brad has always let her run everything. The only thing that can stop Keisha is Becky. Only Becky can stop Keisha. She run all over Brad.
Shout out to Mrs. Cartwright. Shout out to Miss Ann.
Man, all that. Nell Carter on Give Me a Break. There's never been a time in which black men didn't cook for white men didn't cook for black women. It's very.
When I die, I'ma go to Snow Bunny Heaven. Snow Bunny Heaven.
Tribe up. It's not that she's always talked about. I don't know why they be like, oh, we was getting all grape juice doing slavery. They've been talking sassy to Brad since goddamn it. Elizabeth T. Stanton told the white man in 1640, yo, if I fuck a white dude, I could be free, but you could enslave all the nigga males. They've never liked you. They just don't. They love slavery. Enslave all the nigga males. They've never liked you.
Yeah, Optimus, you got a wild echo, Optimus.
Yeah, he got to close his YouTube. Yeah, listen, I don't listen, right? We know Keisha don't like black men. You know, someone was saying earlier that they're using black women of the faith to destroy America. That's the reason why I continue to say, what do we have? 27, 28 days left. White women are not going to vote for Kamala because Keisha's already going ham. This is why I say by the time November 5th comes, white women are going to be voting Donald Trump because they're already starting to realize that Keisha's going too far.
Well, let me. I don't want to talk too much about women because honestly, the show is really about men per se. I want to ask this for the panel. What is the Democrats' problem with men, and how do can the Democrats even approach men at this point?
No. The Democrats' problem with men is they want males. The Democrats don't want men. They want males.
The Democrats want slavery. That's why black women love it. And that's why white women fight so hard against it, right? And for the record, black women don't like white men. They want white men, but it's like they want cats. They only want cats.
Goddamn dirty.
Relationship with both of them.
He just said we're not going to talk about women, and you go right back into women.
I'm just clarifying.
I'll never believe that this man's never been with a fat girl.
I've never soberly been with a fat girl, but look, all I'm saying.
I slept with a fat chick.
The Democrats' problem with men. The Democrats' problem with men
is simple as this. Simple as this. In order to bring this quote unquote egalitarian global commie agenda, you have to empower women and gays, right? That's why black women are the face, by the way, because nobody supports gays more than blacks. At least white women fought back, was like, we're TERFs. Black women like, nah, we just
And
gonna try.
black women look like more like men too, so they both they
Right.
come across
So
both categories.
so how do you get now that you've destroyed nuclear family, right? How do you get men to pay into something that they have no involvement with? Dating rates are going down, birth rates are going down, marriage is going in the toilet. How do you get men to still pay? Answer: you give women jobs that are funded by the state and then make men pay the taxes. I told y'all before, women working is a net negative. 70% of all women jobs are state paid jobs, like teachers and stuff like that, right? So that's why you have to bring these FEMA camps in, bro. You got to bring this UBI in. So you have to get the dumbest people on the planet. Let me say it like this: black men follow black women, who follow white women, who follow gay men, who follow the Semites, who tell gay men to dress like black women, so white women can tell black women to tell black men to stand down. The whole system breaks down once black men stop listening to black women. Right.
And
So,
I highly suggest instead of bringing you guys, bring old mental asylums, the sanitariums, to put these people where they fucking belong at in a crazy fucking house. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I believe like 65% of crazy people was the women. So it just seems right again.
but they got to do that to you. They put you on what is it? Percocet. What they put the
Guard
kids on?
watch. I call
Purgatory,
it guard watch.
purgatory.
I earlier I mentioned there was a new Tim Walz ad for the campaign. This is actually the ad here.
Oh
I
my God.
love sinking into the couch, cold beer in my mouth,
Oh
rooting for
my
the
God.
twins and Tim.
You ain't shit.
Why does it feel gay already?
Playing by the
It's
rules,
Minnesota.
keeping those edges trim. And Tim, I love
This feels like a really gayed up Bud Light commercial from the
Oh
90s.
God, they all drink Bud
Oh
Light.
my God, this is ultra corny.
And Tim, no. Oh my God. This is
Bro, I want
Yo,
to watch Wayne's World now.
yo, they cannot make a masculine anything to save their lives.
well,
Wait,
because again, you
what are
how do
hold
you
on.
accurately depict something that you either A don't believe in or true kind of hate and want to destroy?
It'll literally piss off their
Yep,
whole voter
exactly.
base.
Yeah, yes, it would. You're correct. It would.
Can I chime in here? By the way, hello to everybody in the panel.
Yeah, what
Hey,
up?
how you doing?
I've been gone for a while, Hood. Nice to be back. I just
Optimist?
got it. I just got out of prison. I'm kidding.
Really?
No,
Uh,
no, 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 no.
now you
But
black?
I
it
would
was kind
believe
of
it.
like that.
Listen, it
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be
the first
surprised you
time
are
I've
a
had
black
that
man.
conversation with somebody. Like, you're not gonna shock me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
wouldn't be surprised you are a black man.
it wasn't too far from prison. But anyway, the whole the whole concept that the Democratic Party or their fundamental common denominator is the hate of not only the white man, just men, free thinking, free willed men. That's what they're afraid of. What they want is a neutered eunuch who will fall in line, follow whatever they say. That's why they love women. Women are already naturally at birth, they are neutered males. They will follow. Have you ever noticed, you ever go to anywhere, uh, you're at a business, you need, yeah, I know I'm a day late, but can I still return this? If you have a male there, he'd be like, all right, man, I'll try to take care of it. But if it's a female, oh, sorry, yeah, you're 49 minutes past the time. Technically, I can't. They will follow the rules. So that's what they want. They want people to fall in line and follow the rules. If you have free thinking males, they will think freely and come to logical conclusions, which most times will go against what they're trying to promote. And that's what they don't want. So, how do you get males, especially young males, to fall in line? How do you make them pay? how do you? Well, what you do is, what do men, especially young men, covet the most? Pussy.
Pussy.
So you put their moms, their sisters, and females to bash them and tell them, hey, if you want pussy, this is how you're gonna act. So males will conform,
Wait.
especially the simps.
yeah. I'm kind
Not all of them, but especially the simps.
Nah, but here's the pushback on that, right? Two things, and I agree with you in principle, but not in the way they practicing it, right? In principle, though, you're right. In practice, though, there's so many young boys who hate their mother, bro. It's so many 11-year-old boys who tell me they want a white girl because all black girls are mean to them. Black women fuck that up, and I'm assuming that Karen's fucked that up too because Keisha and Karen are close enough, right?
Yeah,
So
they're cousins.
So you have a bunch of kids who don't see mothers as loving and nurturing, right? So you have that part. Then you have this.
I was one of those, by the way.
Then you
I
have
was an 11-year-old who hated my mother.
bro. All right, but then you have the pre-2010s, right? So when I say the pre-2010s, that's where you're right. When they used to have hot chicks, the Stacey Dashes, and you know what I mean. Now you give me a fat bitch. She's not motivating me to greatness, bro.
Nope.
There's nothing about a boy.
Lizzo is not making me feel great.
I'm not like, oh my God, she said it, so I'm gonna do it. This fat bitch. This is what I aspire to be. This is what I get my money up for. Nah.
But you know who does?
As to add insult to injury, they bring back your old women that was high on the masturbation scale, and on you, the ones that's basically dried up, wrinkly, even got the nasally, raspy voices. Now they're trying to go ahead and make us come back on.
Be like, yo, you can get Stacey Abrams, nigga. You work hard and vote Democrat. No. And then you
no. You're right. They show you Lizzo, and that does not motivate any heterosexual male. That's true.
Yeah,
but it does motivate.
That'll show Julia Roberts too, and that'll show Julia Roberts, Halle Berry, all them old hoes. They basically can't get your wood back on hard, but they go ahead and show you like you used to like her. She vote for this way. Don't you still like her?
Right.
Well,
right. But look, those women, Lizzo and Halle Berry and all the old bitches.
That's what
those women motivate.
It is the white supremacists that have decided.
Those
my bad,
Lizzo motivates the hot young chick that the young high schooler college student wants, and he sees her following Lizzo, and he's like, well, if I want to be in the crowd, if I want to get pussy, then I'm going to agree with whatever the hell Stacey is agreeing with, just so I have a chance to hit.
Okay.
Well, I think it's really beyond that. Hood asked the question, what is the Democrats' aversion to men? The simple fact is anytime, and especially with white men, anytime white men are dissatisfied with how things are going, what do white men do? White men take up arms, and white men will kick the ass of their opposition, even if the opposition is other white men. We've seen 2 world wars, the 100-year wars, the different history. We've seen all the history of what white men are capable of doing when they are unhappy. So what they're trying to do is they're using women who are much more programmable. They're using women to try to program, number one, the boys, and they're using, and now we're going to go back to what's his name's point, to where they're using sex and they're using sexual and gender shaming to kind of steer the grown men in the direction they want to go. But the Democrats really fear unhappy men, because unhappy men will cause revolution and change the system through violence.
I absolutely agree with you. That's why they portray the white male as the scariest thing that has ever walked the earth. What's the scariest thing? Who's your enemy?
He is, and he should be.
And that's actually part of the
scary.
That's actually part of the reason why. That's actually part of the reason why they're really going hard at this point at black men not supporting Trump, because once the dynamic forms of black men and white men coming together under Trump, the liberals are afraid of that because they've kept black men and white men separated successfully so far. And the coming together under Trump is what they're afraid of. So that's why they're out there talking down on black men. No, don't go that way, because they don't want black men and white men coming together and essentially taking their country back.
See, Trump is
Hey,
the
real quick.
face.
Shout out to D-Rock Den with the $2 Rumble chat. Thank y'all for supporting the show, man. It's a lot of people came through today, man. Appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna wind this down soon, man. But keep going, y'all.
I got it on a minute. But I agree with you, bro. But Trump is just a symbol. But like when they talk about Trump, they talk about toxic masculinity.
Exactly. Trump is just a symbol. Go ahead.
The proxy, right? So you have okay. You have a situation where the funniest thing about America is the latchkey kid generation. Notice even when they talk about it, they go straight from boomer to millennial, like Gen X never existed.
Yeah.
The people who are the most heated, like the most heterosexual generation that's living in America is Gen X. Because boomers
and older millennials, Gen Xers. Do we have to go bring up the older ones?
And that's cool. Millennials ain't all the way gone, but starting at Gen Z, bruh.
No, younger millennials. Hey, look, anybody born after 1993, I say 94. Look, I can't trust them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Because they time would be the 2000s, 2010s, and it's super. Like,
hey, real quick. Speaking of white men going on rampages and whatnot, revolutions and such, let's go back to one last clip from Bill Maher where they're talking about the insurrection and the election and all that.
These people who don't want me to talk, and they don't want you to talk to anybody who they don't already agree with, who isn't on the side. And first of all, you have done more for this country than I have, than all of those people have, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Anyone who fought for this country.
Well, CIA, but I tried to help out.
CIA is pretty rough.
Yeah, we do lose people. It's a real thing.
It's not the PTA.
Yeah. I don't believe Donald Trump broke any laws. What is the law?
That's the frustration. Tim asked you a question. You didn't answer it.
I was about to, actually.
No.
I mean, I can.
That was the frustration. He asked you, what was your definition of destroying the country? Is there a certain standard?
I mean, that's a pretty broad question, to be fair. I mean, okay.
Well, welcome to the land of broad.
Right.
And that's the frustration.
What I was going to say is that January 6th is held in a context. First of all, I condemn January 6th as it happened every day since it's happened. The people who broke laws and hurt people and committed federal crimes should pay the price for that. I've never wavered from that. That's absolutely the case.
Should he?
They always have to say, January 6th was terrible. January 6th was way, way less drama than everything that happened up during the BLM riot. And it's crazy how they always overhype the January 6th thing and they never want to dwell on anything that happened after George Floyd. Like, they were literally trying to burn down parts of D.C. They were attacking the White House. It was crazy.
I don't believe Donald Trump broke any laws. What is the law that Donald Trump broke? And by the way, whenever I say this to people, they look at me and they say,
that's a problem perhaps with the law.
Okay,
and
but
I'm not even talking about January 6th itself. To me, that's a bit of a red herring. The thing that he did so wrong is the thing he still does every day. He still has not conceded that election. He did not concede that election, and you are fomenting something in this country that is unprecedented.
Neither has Hillary Clinton,
This is
Bill.
where I'm
What
trying.
are you talking
I'm trying to come
about?
around to your point, and that is that the 2020 election cannot be taken out of the context of a 2016 election that Hillary at different times absolutely did not concede, that some of
there you go.
My, unfortunately, former bosses in the intelligence community working with the Democrat Party decided to bring this absurd, the Russia collusion investigation was insane. Nothing came out of this. There were no charges out of this. The whole thing was a scam. And Hillary didn't accept that she had lost the election in the early days afterwards. Now,
except she showed up to the inauguration.
No, she showed up at the inauguration.
She showed up that night before the cock crowed. She conceded.
But there was also in 2020. In 2022, there is a.
I got your boy in there.
Yeah, I did. In 2020, January 6th was a riot. Riots are bad. Riots are illegal. That should not happen. It came after months of riots that were effectively a Democrat mobilization of the BLM party. Well, I mean, I was on my block, and people came around and they shattered all the windows, they stole stuff, and yeah, this is for social justice.
An interesting thing about the January 6th thing versus the BLM stuff. 6 hours of uncontrolled whiteness, uncontrolled white male anger. It wasn't really all that violent. It was just, semi-violent displays. And
anarchy. Can you just say anarchy?
Anarchy is a good word for it. Uncontrolled white male anarchy. But I don't like to say anarchy because anarchy.
Most of the violence
politically, anarchy is a leftist.
Most of the violence that was instigated by the Capitol Police, anyhow.
Right.
And
It wasn't all
less,
that.
It was an
less
aggressive
violence and destruction than most championship celebrations. I mean, I saw worse stuff when the Bulls won their championships.
It was an unsupervised field trip. That's what it was. An
That is the
unsupervised
first
field
time
trip.
I've ever seen a riot where when the people were told, hey, okay, it's time to go home, they all filed out orderly and went home.
Yeah, field trip.
Man, what about the Chiefs? When the Chiefs won a championship, man, that was some weed.
Right. But the point I was trying to make though is like compared to, I mean, how many months did the George Floyd thing really last? Like it was like most of the year.
Well, let's not forget we have a presidential candidate right now who is actually advocating. She was advertising on social media that there were different organizations that her and others like her were a part of that were actually bailing people out of jail that were out there getting arrested during these BLM protests.
Yeah.
Imagine if Trump did that shit, if he said that he was going to bail out all them January 6th quote unquote.
That's the thing. And Trump is nowhere near like the based white man that they, want him to be. Even like the memes and all that, they overhype Trump's baseness and all that. Yeah.
Hey, remember when Maxine Waters was actually like doing Trump's or when he was attempting to run, she was saying that they basically need to go ahead and stop all those people basically inciting the riots.
Yeah, there was a bunch of clips of people trying to incite riots. She was one of them.
Soundbite.
I remember when it came out, it was like it's big news on the right. This is the thing about, and this is something else that's happening right now with the left, right? What they want to do is actually control conversation so that uncomfortable facts, countervailing evidence doesn't really get discussed, and you only live in the reality of whatever knowledge is acceptable from the left-wing prism. And then you have like Fox News came along at one point and it was like, oh my God, these conservatives have that conservative talk. And then you get on like the internet years later and it gets even more sort of split up. And that's kind of what the problem of the left right now, what they're having with men is that men get on the internet and they learn all this shit that they weren't supposed to know. And it's like, how could I ever support you guys now? And I don't know how the left really fights that without shutting down like social media and having censorship and all that crazy stuff.
Fox News is controlled opposition. It is controlled by the elites. You saw that when the owner of Fox News fired Tucker, and Tucker didn't get fired for lying. He got fired for telling the truth. So this whole thing that this whole country is basically a uniparty. I mean, they just recently came out and said the reason we're letting all these illegals in is because the United States birth rate is crashing and we need to increase our population. And the reason we need to increase our population is for economic stability, because if you don't have population growth, you cannot have economic growth.
But here's the lie though, because there's been a steady effort to lower the birth rates by the same people who complain about the low birth rates.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why that
Exactly.
is. They want the middle class, free thinking, especially white population to crash their birth rate, which they have successfully done so mostly because of economic reasons.
Great
Because
job, by the way.
people just cannot have kids and afford them because you can't even afford a house, even on a 2 people income, at least in California. But they have successfully done that. And instead, what they'll do is replace that with the Hispanic world population, where they're just happy to cross the border. They're happy to get a few $100s from the government and work under the table. That's the population they want because that population is easier to control.
And
So
then look, here's
crash.
the thing. This is what I can see happening, right? You get to a point where you have just enough white people for like management, engineering, effective control of certain things, and then a vast slave network population.
Exactly. It's for slavery. It's slave labor. That's what they want. They want
I,
slave labor.
And unfortunately, that does not work long term because these so-called they call themselves educated, right? But unfortunately, two things that they fail to actually educate themselves in, and they always repeat the same pattern: politics and history. They're doing the same thing that the Romans did, what I'm saying, with the Visigoths and all the other slave urchin classes. And what eventually happened? They outpopulated the original people and took over. And it was a very catastrophic mayhem that pursued, destroy their culture and replace them. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they don't. The elites don't care. They know that that's going to happen, but that might take 100 years. They won't be around in 100 years. They
oh
could give a
no,
fuck.
oh no. No, we live in a more see back then you in that particular time, it took you damn near a week or some months to even get news from your neighbor that lived in town or 2 towns away. We live in an information age. And mind you, the biggest contributors and benefactors of the Democratic Party is Bill Gates and Google. Google and Microsoft are the biggest backers of the Democratic Party. That's the reason why they can actually have all these elaborate celebrity guests and all these so-called field campaign rallies being paid with paid actors in attendance. That's the way they're able to keep the appearance of her actually think she's doing something and winning. It's
Yeah,
all nothing but
I would
propaganda.
argue it's far beyond Bill Gates because you name me a billionaire who's against the Democratic theory.
Elon Musk.
Even Elon,
Elon is the
even
guy they want to throw in jail with Trump too, by the way. But I think
Elon
we
Musk.
got to end. We got to end on that tone right there because I got to get out of here. I had to do a really short show today, but I thank you guys for taking up the panel. Appreciate you
thank you,
guys for
Hood.
being here, helping me out, adding
No
to the
problem.
show. I know Snowman, Dirty Folks. Don't y'all got a show coming up? Y'all about to do? I know nobody. Somebody said they were doing
Yeah, we're
something
about
right
to do
now.
it. Matter of fact, let me drop the link right now, man. Hold on,
But there
I'm
you
putting
go.
it back to y'all.
Drop the
Yeah, I got a
link.
show coming up later. I got a show coming up later when I get off of work, probably like around 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. You know what I'm saying? Saturday night
How you at
fuckery.
work on a show?
What's the
I
name of the
meet
show?
I'm gonna
Saturday
hop
night
in
fuckery.
somewhere.
Hold on,
Y'all take it easy.
Never mind. I don't even want to answer that question. I
I'll
don't
see
know.
you later, man. Listen, we
All
got to
right,
get up
man. It's
out of here.
done.
Y'all take
All
it
right,
easy,
guys.
man. Y'all take it
It's
easy.
done.
Everybody have a
Peace.
great day. We are done. It's over. Y'all be good, man.
Oh,
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.